Morning, it's Patsy. So I'm back in the kitchen. The dogs so far are asleep and the birds are quiet. Not going to say it's going to stay that way, but let's hope they don't make too much noise. But the reason I've popped on today is because I've been catching up on watching some videos, and I follow somebody called Crochet Tarot Witchy. Crochet Witchy Tarot, sorry. And she'd done a VR to Cozy Core Craft, and it was a video that was called The Season Between Seasons, decks for when it doesn't feel like summer or fall. And that was something I'd been thinking about the last few days, because it's that time that I've changed my decks up. And here in England we're having a late summer, typical, you know, just when you want the autumn vibes to start coming in, then we get a summer. It happens quite often. I remember when my girls was little, taking them to school and what have you. This is back in the late 90s, early 2000s even. It'd be back to school September. They'd have the uniforms and the new coats and everything, and the sun would be shining, and they need summer dresses. So it's a usual occurrence here. And this year is no different. We've had a bit of a rubbish summer, and here we are coming towards autumn, and the weather has decided it's going to be summer. So I'm not really particularly feeling autumn decks and full on Halloween yet, or Samhain yet. So when I was choosing my decks, I was kind of looking for decks that match that in-between stage that we're in. But saying that, I was at the market on Thursday. We have a market here every Thursday, and there's a particular store that I always visit. It's where my family of Gonks comes from, and they had this, and I couldn't resist, and he now sits on my altar, even though I'm not really feeling the autumn vibes yet. I had to get him. He is gorgeous. So he's now sitting on my altar behind me. I've just took him off to show you. So even though I'm not fully into that vibe yet, he was too cute to pass up on. So the decks that I've gone for, I've got 4 tarot and 4 oracle, and these will kind of go with me now till getting into October, where I shall hopefully start feeling that that vibe of autumn and Samhain coming, Halloween coming. So this one I've been showing quite a bit just lately, but I haven't used it yet. It's the Mind's Eye Tarot. Now I need to get to know this one, and I thought this is probably the perfect time because of the coloration. The colours are very sort of goldies, oranges, reds. So it has that feeling of this time, you know, this time of year where things are supposed to be starting to turn and what have you. And it's not full on summer, it's not full on Samhain, full on autumn. It's just kind of got that vibe to it. So I thought this would be quite a good in-between deck, and I need to work with it and get to know it. So I have pulled it off, ready to start using. So there we go. So yeah, so I'm going to see how I get on with that. I mean, it's a lovely looking deck. See how it reads and see how it flows and all the rest of it. But I thought that was a good deck to start with, and a deck that I need to get to know. So the next one is a deck that I've had a while, because I had it on pre-order, and there we go, it's the Witch's Garden. I just cannot connect to this deck. I know that in the community lots of people talk about this is a lovely, they love this deck and it's a favourite of theirs, and I love the artist, and I love her Compendium of Witches, which I have and I use quite often. But this one, I don't know what it is about it. I just couldn't. The artwork's gorgeous. Everything about it is gorgeous. But I just, when I got it, I tried working with it and I just couldn't connect. The readings that I was doing with it wasn't as strong as what I get with other decks, and I just can't put my finger on what it is about this that holds me back from using it. So it's been pulled out because it has got that, and it is a witchy deck, it's got that witchy vibe and what have you, and I do tend to like to work with at least one witchy deck, but it isn't specifically a seasonal deck. It doesn't scream summer and it doesn't scream Samhain or autumn or anything like that. So I've pulled it out and I started using it today, and I'm going to do my 3-card daily draws with this and see if I can connect with it better and get to know it a bit better and start enjoying it more, because like I said, I do love the artwork and it's so up my street. And like I said, I had it on pre-order and was excited to be getting it, but then it was just like so we will see. But so that's the second one. The third one that I'm going to be working with is an old favourite, the Llewellyn Tarot. I like to grab an old favourite, and this is one. So this is a well-loved deck, and again, the vibes of this deck isn't particularly of any particular season, and its artwork is beautiful. The borders don't bother me. I actually think it looks like images of like paintings or something in their frame and what have you. I actually really like it. I was considering at one point getting another one and trimming off all the edges and just leaving the images, because it's so RWS, you don't even need to have the writing on it to know what you're looking at. But then I thought, no, I like it like this, so there's no need. So this is the one that I will be using to do monthly spreads or any kind of spreads that I've decided I'm going to be doing this next few weeks. But this is such a beautiful deck. It gets put away, and then when I get it out again, you know, it's just like, why do you keep putting this away? It is gorgeous. And that's the problem, I think, when you have so many decks, to get through them all, you rotate them, and decks like these are gorgeous, kind of get pushed to the back as new decks come in and other decks you work with. So it is nice to pull them out and fall in love with them all over again. But yeah, so that is another one I'll be working with, and that is the Llewellyn Tarot. Oh, I didn't show you the backs, but I'm sure you've all seen this deck. But there's the backs. It's a gorgeous deck. So the next one is another one I've had a while and another favourite, but I don't pull it out that often actually, and it is verging on that kind of time of year, but not full on, and it's the Shadowland Tarot, and this is by Monica Badursky. Never say her name. You get such a good book with this. I have actually got the Lenormand for this as well, and I'll have to pull that out as well because I do like to work with a Lenormand. So being I've got a matching one, I might as well pull that out as well. But this is such a fun deck, and again, it's sort of, it's not really Halloweeny Samhain, it's not really anything in terms of seasons or anything. It's just a cute monsters deck. These little funny looking monster creatures you can use any time of the year. It doesn't have to be specifically for Halloween or anything. And I love this deck, and it reads like a dream. It does read really well for me. I mean, I love the art of this deck and the cardstock. The only thing that with this, when I did get it, and it still is a little bit bowed, that there was a bow to the, and it didn't seem to matter what I'd done to it. The bow is still there, not quite as pronounced, but still there. You don't really notice it until you lay it on a flat surface and you kind of see it. But yes, that's a lovely deck. I mean, you can probably see there, it kind of got that slight bow to it. And like I said, it came like that. It was actually a little bit worse, but all the same, it's a lovely deck. And I haven't used that in a good few months actually, so I am looking forward to using that one. So that is the tarots that I'll mainly be working with. I won't say specifically working with, because if I get anything new in or I fancy using something else, I'll just drag that out, because that's just how I am. But on the whole, these are the ones I'm going to try and stick to for the majority of what I do. So now we're going to go on to the oracles. Now, the first one I'm going to show you is this one, the Denise Linn Sacred Forest Oracle. This was a Sandra Made Me Do It Oracle. And I love this deck. Don't like the backs. I've said that before when I showed this. But the actual cards, images, I've got two there, never mind, are gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful. I don't know who the artwork of this is. It doesn't say on the box. Let's have a look. No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, cover design and art, Scott Bidenthal. I think that's how you said it. I love this card, it's beautiful. And the book, what comes with this, as all of I find Denise Linn's books are, is really in depth, and the writing is really lovely. But this is kind of, even though it's like a forest themed deck, or everything's set in forest, it hasn't got a season to it, so it can be used all year round. And I have been using this for the last couple of weeks already, but I'm just not putting it away, I'm keeping it out. But this is a Hay House deck, obviously, and this one is gorgeous too. There's some cards in here I'm like, oh, that's a bit cringe-worthy, but then there's others that are absolutely beautiful. And we've got the Frog Spirit and the Dragon. And I love the keywords on these as well. So that is the first oracle. Like I said, I have been using that for the last couple of weeks, but it's going to be carrying on using it as the next one is. I've been using this one for the last couple of weeks, and this is staying again. And this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. I've got quite a few of Stacey DeMarco's decks, and I do enjoy working with them. And because it's a lunar deck, it's not really seasonal. The only thing is it is glossy. Look at that. I mean, look at that gorgeous images. And again, I like the keywords on the deck. It doesn't have to be just a moon deck, though you can use it to pull out for the moon phases and what have you. But it can just be used as a normal oracle, and I use it for both. But these are very intuitive, these cards, especially when you've got like the keywords, like with this one we've got trust, we have patience, sovereignty, action. So yeah, that is a nice deck. I use that quite often actually, and it's staying out, so I'll continue using that. So the next one, I am bringing in the Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. We are coming up to Mabon. I love the colouring of this one. I have already been using this actually. And as with all of these decks, I'm really enjoying them. This Seasons of the Witch set that they're releasing. I do enjoy working with them, and this is no different. The artist is different, I believe, on this one, but I do still like the artwork. But yeah, lovely. So that one will be staying out, and I will be using that one. And the last one I'm going to show you is, you might be thinking that's a strange one if you don't want to be using Halloween decks yet. It's the Halloween Oracle. Again, it's a Stacey DeMarco. But the thing with this deck is, even though it's called the Halloween Oracle, and the backs I'm not a particular fan of, the actual deck itself I think can be used anytime, not just for Halloween. I mean, it's not just a Halloween deck, I don't think. And I do think it says that it can, you know, it's sort of been for all year round, not just, even though it says lifting the veil between the worlds every night, so it doesn't have to experience the scariest night of the year every night, so it doesn't have to specifically be a Halloween deck. And I've been using this for the last week and I forgot how good this deck was. I mean, some of the images are bang on Halloween, no doubt about it, but then there's others that aren't, and the keywords are great, the card stock is great, and I'm just enjoying working with it. I haven't worked with this for about a year, I don't think. It got pushed to the back of my unit where I keep a lot of my decks. I have 2 or 3 different areas where I keep it. This got pushed to the back, and it wasn't until I was searching through what I wanted to work with the other day that this sort of popped up, and I thought, oh, do you know what, I'd forgotten I'd even got that. And it's a great deck. It is a great deck. I'm really enjoying it. Black Cat. And like I say, I don't think it's specifically Halloween, it's just the backs are very Halloweeny, aren't they? Excuse me. But yeah, so those are my decks that I am going to be working with for the next few weeks, leading till I start feeling the autumn Halloweeny feel more. And it'll be interesting to hear what your thoughts are, and whether you have gone bang straight into Halloween decks or whether you feel that in between stage. And I will see you all soon. Bye for now.